Here, spawning at the bottom right corner of the map. Playing for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. He's got the Star of Happiness by his side. He is Kier. And spawning here at the top left side, he is the Red Protoss, playing for Good Game Gaming. Give it up for Patience. Alright, Size Matter in the live chat saying, need to go off now. Thanks for casting Snoopy. Oh, thank you, Size Matter. Appreciate it. And thank you for hanging out and tuning in for this stream. Hope you have a good one. Kozen as well, has some nice kind words. Doing good, Snoopy. Well, I'm doing as good as I can, considering that I feel like I'm quite horrible in solo casting. I was supposed to have a co-caster, but unfortunately, my co-caster is missing in action. So, doing my best. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying the game so far. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and begin our first game here on Romanticide LE. Now, we did see Trap, of course, play a pretty good PVT here. Now, let's see if Patience can kind of replicate that exact game. So far, opening up with a Marine, not a Reaper, actually. Angry SC2 in the live chat saying, chill out, man, you're doing well. Oh, thank you, man, appreciate it. really appreciate it. Always great to bring you these awesome games to you awesome fans. Of course, there is kind of a little of a dull period before the ESL Global Finals. There's not a lot of tournaments going on, not a lot of I mean, there is the Wardia tournament, I suppose, but nothing else big going on around. So I think we here at Alpha X wants to bring you the Alpha X into the Alpha X Pro Circuit 5 to make sure that you are entertained before then, where the big events start happening towards the end of February, right? Yeah, it's like towards the end of February. I think next week is when the global final starts. And I gotta say, I am really excited to watch it. I mean, we do have to play on at the play-ins still, but once it gets to like the round of 16 and then the round of 8 and then to the playoffs, I think we're gonna have ourselves some really high level action, and I can't wait to watch that. A little bit unfortunate that it's not going to be in the live crowd due to, of course, COVID. But either way, still pretty awesome. And we do see a little bit of a really kind of an awkward, interesting push here by Kier. I am not quite sure what's the idea behind this. I mean, I suppose he wanted to catch his opponent a little bit off guard, but there was no stim, there was no like lining up with a +1 upgrade. There's nothing. It was just like a ragtag group of Marines and a single Widowmine. I mean, not Widowmine, Reaper there. So kind of a awkward, interesting timing of some sort. Now Patience is going to go ahead and go for his own counterattack. Now it looks like the DT tech has been privy to Kier, so he is going to go ahead and smartly throw down these turrets. But Patience knows that Kier seeing this and immediately not even go for the DT drop, just going to go for the Archon drop. Oh, gotta be careful not to warp in there too close. All right, Patience manages to pull off that third nexus there before that probe dies. We'll get a nice, decent scout there, actually. But this War Prism play is still in play. Gonna go ahead and focus fire on these turrets. Does actually scout the third CC as well. All right, a little bit of a little nice harass here and there, but doesn't get too much done. Really, these DC plays and Archon hasn't really got any significant damage. And now, oh man, I think Kier just caught Patience with his pants down. Just completely misses this move out by Kier. No observer. Oh wait, there's actually an observer out in the front. Maybe he missed it or something. Wasn't quite wary of that, but I mean, at the very least, I don't think he scouted this because there was no shield batteries or no warpins while this attack was at his front gate. And now he's going to lose 20 probes. Oh, so unfortunate for Patience. Nobody ever wants to get caught with their pants down. I mean, that is not a good moment. Especially if you're not wearing any underwear, right? That could be a very disturbing image. But anyhow, we do see a blink being researched there by Patience. He's gonna go ahead and get Colossus as well. I feel like maybe at this point he should just go for a disruptor, because he needs some kind of comeback mechanic of some sort. Whether it's, you know, usually it's DTs for Protoss, but he already revealed the DT play in the early game. So I think the other option for a comeback mechanic is disruptors, because if you can get a nice decent disruptor, that could basically potentially get you back into the game instead of Colossus, I would say. And Angry SE2 in the live chat saying, I think it's safe to say that Kier is ahead, and you know what? I 1000% agree with you. Right now, it is Kier's game to lose. He has every advantage in the book, whether you're talking about upgrades, whether you're talking about worker count, whether you're talking about army supply. Really, there's not a lot that, you know, that's going to go for Patience to somehow, some way swing this game, unless Kier makes a complete blunder. Maybe he, you know, move command instead of attack command, and doesn't realize until like 5 seconds later or something. Like, Patience is going to need some kind of miracle to have at least some chance to come back into this game. Now there is 6 SV that just went down. I just missed that, unfortunately. I apologize. Okay, it looks like it was probably a charge that run by, maybe, I'm assuming, or maybe at some depths or something. Alright, Kira's going to go ahead and extract a Patience there at the backside. Going to go ahead and snipe out the robotics facility. That means no more Colossus, no disruptors, no observers, none of that until he remakes it. Now, luckily for him, he actually made another robotics facility, a second one. But I think, boy, the damage has been done already. I mean, 25 workers going down. I mean, right now he can't afford to lose any more workers. I mean, he's already way behind in the workers. I mean, to lose more workers, that kind of digs you into a deeper hole. And things are getting worse and worse here for Patience. I am not quite sure what he can do except GG out. But he is going to go ahead and kind of stick around and try to, you know, kind of cross his fingers and hope for some type of miracle. Maybe some type of opening where he can somehow, some way swing the momentum hugely into his favor. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't quite see that happening. But of course he wants to try. This is, again, the elimination match, so you definitely want to win this match to have any hopes of keeping your hopes alive in this tournament as you go along. And here we go, another doom drop here for Kier. This time around, the Patience is going to be in position, so that's good for him. But he is facing up against a 2-2 army here, and look at that. You can see how strong that 2-2 upgrade is. Patience is going to eventually clear this out, but loses too much. Loses basically his entire army during that engagement and during that fight. So here is going to go ahead and pick up game number 1, and we'll be 1 game away from clinching this series. Alright, let's see here. Next map, going to be on Oxide LE. So we kind of have a little bit of a pattern here. A lot of Romanticide, a lot of Oxide maps going on. And again, picked here by these players. PoE11 in the live chat, just giving some update, or giving some info, saying IEM Katowice starts at the 20th. All right, thank you for the update. Yeah, so basically next week, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, actually no, wait, 2 weeks from now. Yeah, 2 weeks from now, about 2 weeks. I guess 1.5 weeks to be exact. Yeah, I can't wait to watch that and get that tournament started. I mean, that is a accumulation of a year's worth of StarCraft, right? I mean, all these players kind of play all these tournaments, gather up all their points, and it's for this moment to get into the tournament, you know, get maybe a nice little seed there to make it a little bit easier path. And it's really going to come down to who's going to win the big prize. It's going to be the biggest prize event of the year. All right, let's head back into this match. Game number 2 here on Oxide. And spawn here at the bottom left corner of the map. In the blue trunks, playing for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. It is Kier. And spawning here at the top right, he's the Protoss in the red trunks, playing for Good Game Gaming. Cheer for Patience. Alright, with Patience, basically his back's against the wall here, because right now if he loses this game, it's over for him. There's no more lives, there's no more games to be played for him. He will get eliminated from the tournament. So I am going to predict that Patience is going to go and play his bread and butter in Blink Stalkers. I am predicting that it's going to be a Blink Stalker opening. Last game he went for DTs, went for a little bit of a riskier play. But this time around, I think he is going to go ahead and rely on what he is most comfortable with, which is Blink Stalker play. And of course, this is not a bad map to go for Blink Stalker play. To be honest, I don't think any map is really bad for Blink Stalker play openings. I feel like Blink Stalker openings are pretty common and solid in all maps and stages. Very, very versatile. Of course, you don't want to rely on Blink Stalkers like towards the later stages of the game, because Blink Stalker is not the best against Terran. Like just pure mass stalkers. Like if we're getting to the 15-minute mark or 10-minute mark or 12-minute mark around there, and you're still on Blink Stalkers, that's not a good sign. You want to at least have like maybe charge, or maybe transitioning into or adding in some Colossus, something besides just pure mass Blink Stalkers. Unless you get like a huge advantage in the early game, like you make a Blink Stalker timing and you get like a lot of damage done, then maybe you can kind of throw down some additional gateways and go for a finishing blow with just pure mass Stalkers. But those games are very rare. And as I say that, look at what we have here. Got ourselves the nice shiny Twilight Council. And there we have it. Blink has been researched. Now here on the other hand, I'm gonna go ahead and open up with a 1-1 opening. It's gonna be a 4 Hellion opening actually, but no Medivacs. Actually went ahead and made a reactor on the starport, so kinda, or not a reactor, it looks like a tech lab. So he is gonna go ahead and open up with either a Raven or Banshee play. I'm gonna be guessing maybe Raven. Oh, a little bit of opening here. Wow, those Stalkers were not fat enough. These are these very little few moments where you actually want to be fat instead of skinny. I mean, if unless you're playing unless you're an actor and you gotta play a role where you gotta put on some pounds, but letting those Hellions go on in here, that was very critical. Losing 10 workers before the 5-minute mark, that is huge. Maybe if you lose 10 at like the 20-minute mark, it's not so critical, but at the 4-minute mark, losing 10 workers, that is actually very substantial damage there coming out of Kier. So right now, Patience, he is already on the back foot with being down 1 game and 1 game away from being eliminated, and now he is, man, he is gonna have to make some work out of these Blink Stalkers to even up the score, because right now Kier is slowly but surely pulling ahead and pulling away with this game. Alright, I wouldn't be surprised to see Kier just go for a timing attack. I mean, get like 3 tanks or 4. Attack when stim is done. I think he got combat shield, right? Oh no, he hasn't gotten combat shield yet. Okay, it looks like he is going to go ahead and transition into a macro game, and that is also very viable, because he, you know, when you're ahead, as they say, get more ahead, and you know, he doesn't have to kind of risk it all on one big attack. So yeah, I mean, there's plenty of options for Kier to go for from here on forward. Now, obviously, you don't want to give Patience too much time, because as we all know, Patience can be very aggressive with these Blink Stalkers, and that can actually, you know, potentially pick off some important buildings like a add-on or maybe a medevac on the rally. So you don't want to give too much time for Patience to kind of crawl himself back into this game, because he does have 3 Nexuses. He can kind of chrono boost out those lost probes. And yeah, I think right now, if Kier just goes across the map, I mean, Stim is about to finish right in time with his combat shield and his +1. I would say this is probably a pretty good time to just go for the kill here. Patience is going to go ahead and try to blink up. There's only very few Stalkers here to blink up with, so doesn't get too much done, as he is greeted with some Marauders there. Oh man, Interference Matrix going down on those Colossus, rendering them temporarily useless. That's going to give the opportunity of Kier to kind of siege up in position between the natural and the third. Let me go ahead and just kind of zoom on out here so you can see the positioning of both players. And right now, oh man, that mineral line is getting completely decimated, and Patience knows this. he is going to GG, and Cure is going to go ahead and knock out Patience out of into the Alpha X Pro Circuit 5. And there we have it.